10. Recognise this sound.
Crazy times, can't you feel it? Is there a reason for it all? Huh, maybe. Take a ride on this pipe train. Hold it in. Wait for it. Here come the fall. Oh, your mind's been spun into a web. Is a spider gonna catch 'em all? Whew. Wheels and deals, a flickering screen. Got your card, ain't you please? Gotta click 'em all.
That was my curtsy. Can you hear me? There's a massive plane above me. I've got voice isolation on. This is a great test. Look, it's right there. Can you see it? Can you hear it? I'm unsure whether boys do curtsies or bows. Here's a bow just in case. Oh, I forgot my crown. Wait, start the music again, start the music again. How does that look? It doesn't really fit as well as I thought it was going to fit. And you might be saying, James, take your hat off. No. Now, I know what you're thinking. James, what the hell is going on? Oh, another plane, another plane. Well, you know, last year with the Ace Pro, I did my kind of review video around Buckingham Palace. So I thought, you know what? This year with the Ace Pro 2, I'm going to keep the royal theme going. So where the hell am I? Well, I am in Windsor, Royal Windsor, and just in front of me to the left, you can't see just yet, but we do have Windsor Castle. This is royalty, and I cannot believe this is the first time I'm like walking around Windsor. I mean, I've driven through here once, I think once, maybe twice, but I've never stepped out. But you know what? I can just feel royalty in the air. Right, enough about that for now. More about this. Look at this. Mr. Ace Pro 2. Less than a year since Ace Pro 1 was launched, we have a new toy to play with. Sorry, one sec. Look at this. Look at this. This is a boat, but I don't know, it's not like one of the normal boats. It's like, you know those boats? It's like, I think it's like the living boats. Who remembers Rosie and Jim? This is what I think of. That is what I think of when I see these boats. I actually need to not shout and scream too much because it's quite early in the morning, and I think people are living on these boats because a figure just came to the window of like that one. And yeah, maybe it's because I was shouting too much. So you know what? We will go this way. I have absolutely no idea where we are going. Did I expect that we were going to be standing inside of a bush? No, but I guess this is great if you want to see how the Ace Pro 2 looks when you're filming inside of a bush, if that's the content you want to be doing. Now, you probably know all the facts and figures and the highlights, but just in case this is the first video you're clicking on, let me bring you up to speed in 43 seconds. There is 2 new AI chips helping with image processing and making everything smoother and faster. A brand new, larger, slightly better quality flip screen. More frame rate options when shooting in 8K. A new endurance mode to give you up to 50% more battery than the already bigger battery than the Ace Pro. Better low light performance. A new pure video plus mode, and you can now shoot up to 4K 60. A removable lens guard, 360-degree horizon lock. You can now shoot up to 4K 60 in HDR versus 4K 30 on the Ace Pro. You can now connect a USB-C mic, 50 megapixel photos. There's new color profiles, including the option to now shoot in iLog, an upgraded 1/1.3 inch 8K sensor, a new dashcam mode for your car, bike, plane, train, rocket or hot air balloon. You can now go deeper to film the fish to 12 meters versus 10 meters on the Ace Pro, a new wind muff slash guard to help with the wind, and a wider field of view, 157 degrees versus 151 on the Ace Pro. You can now do reverse charging, so if your phone runs out of battery, you're covered. So all of those highlights sound fantastic, wonderful, great, spectacular. Thank you. Oh, style it out. But let's be honest, there's only two things that really matter. How does it look? And how does it sound? There are 3 audio modes: voice enhancement, stereo and wind reduction. And of course we have the addition of the wind muff slash oh, look at this. Oh, there's a zoom into the swan. There we go, look at that. Wait, do they jump? Do they fly? Come on, say hello. I'm scared it's gonna jump out. Do they jump? Do they jump? So right now I've got clarity zoom on. How clear can you see? Are these ducks or swans, or are they the same? Oh, they don't like me. They're making the oh, we're still in clarity zoom, so just remember when you turn it round, unclarity zoom. Oh, there's so many of them. Look, they're all flying away from me. Look at these, are royal swans. Royal swans. Oh, it's always the pigeons that want to spoil the humans' days. In everywhere, absolutely everywhere. You think I'm gonna let them go on this or on my white shoes? No, we're going away. Where was we? So, audio settings, yeah, 3 modes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna test out those modes. Now, so far throughout this whole video, it has been in voice enhancement. But we're going to run through the 3 modes now, and I'm not going to stand here and just waffle on and chat shit. I am actually going to give you something to think about. Now, don't cheat and don't Google, because we will come back to this later in the video and see if you actually got this correct. And what the hell am I on about? Well, I'm going to give you some riddles, but not just any riddles, royal riddles. Right, so I've now switched over to wind reduction. We are now in wind reduction, and I have to be honest with you, typically when we do these tests for wind reduction, there is no wind. How about that? Now, one thing I must say before I give you the riddle is, you know, in the promo video Insta360 put out when they released the Ace Pro 2, there was a person on a motorbike and it showed wind reduction off and you could hear the wind, and then wind reduction on and you could hear the sound of the motorbike. And I looked at it and I thought, nah, it can't, but you're taking it. But look at that, that is just amazing. If that is the case, that's amazing. So, you know what I did? I went out and did some tests myself. So, as you can hear, I mean, I know it's not me on a motorbike, I haven't been on a motorbike. Actually, I've never been on a motorbike. One day I'll go on a motorbike. But look, I think maybe in the promo video they had like 20,000 wind muffs on to be able to hear the motorbike engine. Because there's no way, there's just no way. I don't know what's happening. So, all I'm saying is, go out and do your test yourself, because you don't want to be on your bike doing a monologue thinking that the camera can hear you when actually it can't hear you because it's just wind. Right, time for the first riddle in wind reduction. One night, a king and a queen walked into an empty castle. The next day, the king and queen and someone else walked out. Who walked out with the king and queen? Right, I've now switched over to voice enhancement, and are you ready for the second riddle? I live in a place where some people find me useless. There is at most times only one other person like me. I live in a place where we are ruled by 4 kings and queens. I live in a place where there are only 4 races. Who am I and where do I live? And now this is us in stereo. So essentially stereo is going to have no processing happening, but you probably will be able to hear more of the ambient sounds around me. Are you ready for the third and final riddle. Two twins are laying next to a king and a queen in a large room. Yet there are no adults and there are no children in the room. How is this possible? Now, you can connect a Bluetooth mic like the DJI Mic 2 to the Ace Pro 2, but just be careful with this because it doesn't sound the best. To do your own test, because you could end up sounding like Dory from Finding Nemo.
I love to swim in.
Or the alien from Toy Story.
A stranger from the outside.
Do I sound like an alien? Do I sound like a fish? This is how you're going to be sounding with the DJI Mic 2 connected to the Ace Pro 2, and obviously having a external mic connected like this, you know, gives you the flexibility to move around and go over here or go down there and feed the swans and all that stuff. But yeah, do your test, because you're not going to sound as good with this mic connected to this as you would if this mic was connected to a DJI product. The good thing is though, you can go into the Insta360 app and adjust the audio mix levels, because the mics on the Ace Pro 2 are still recording, so you can just essentially just move it to that, so you don't have the mic from this if you don't like the sound when you get home. Yeah, so mum, if you're watching, don't worry, I will wash this spoon before I put it back in the drawer. Battery update. I've basically been shooting for about 1 hour 30, obviously not every minute of that 1 hour 30, but the camera's been on for pretty much that time. When I left the car, I made sure it was 100%, and I've just had to change the batteries over, and 1 hour 30 is what we got, which actually is slightly disappointing, and I was going to touch on that later, but may as well tell you now, yeah, it's not the best. Right, we're on the move. We are on the move, and we are on a mission. We're on the hunt to find a royal coffee. There is loads of coffee shops over here that you would expect. You have a Starbucks over there, you have a Black Sheep coffee, you had a Gale's over there, there was a Costa down there, there's a crispy creme over there. But you know what? I want something that says royalty in my eyes. Starbucks, pumpkin spice, and Costa Black Forest hot chocolate does, but I can't be in Windsor and go in there. I'm gonna try my best to run past it. There it is. I'm not gonna look, I'm not gonna look, I'm not gonna look, I'm not, oh! Now, there is nothing that says royal coffee, then Crown Cafe. Oh, and free fudge.
Would you like to try some fudge, sir?
Yes, okay, that'd be great.
Yeah, if you go inside, talk to Chris there. She loves feeding people.
Oh, she's gonna feed us.
I am indeed. I have got samples of everything.
Wow, I haven't had fudge in ages.
This is all handmade fudge, this. We actually make it just down the end over there. Both me and Henry.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Now it's time for a coffee. Don't think I need any more sweet pastries. Great, thank you. Royal coffee. Look at this. I was expecting the royal coffee to be in a gold cup. I'm a little bit disappointed with the presentation. Let's see how it tastes. Oh my god. It's so hot. Have they even put milk in it? And there's no sweeteners. Oh, it is milky. Thick. I realised I put the lid facing down on that bus stop bench, and I was like, I can't be drinking like bum coffee. So I put the lid in the bin, and I've kept it open because the air will make it cool down. Well, not yet, but definitely sweet enough. Tell you what, this is not the best coffee. It's not the worst, but it's definitely not a royal coffee. I think later on I'm gonna have to go Starbucks or Costa. Like, I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to do it. Right, back down to business. One question a lot of you are gonna have is, I've got the Ace Pro. Do I upgrade to the Ace Pro 2? Well, let me let you into a little secret. I've been filming on the Ace Pro, and I'm filming on the Ace Pro right now, and for the last few shots, did you notice the difference? Could you tell when I switched it? I'm gonna put like a little symbol in the left-hand side of the screen where I switched over, so if you want to go back at some point and see the exact moment, you can. But it was basically just the journey to find the coffee, so the last few shots. Did you notice? Did you notice? Let's turn on the Ace Pro 2 now. So here we are side by side, Ace Pro 2. Can you see the difference? Do you like the difference? Remember what I said, it's all about how it looks and how it sounds. Now, do I think it's a worthy upgrade? Yes. The image is clearer, it's warmer, the audio is better, the whole user experience in terms of how fast and smooth it is to use the camera is better. The screen, like, oh my god, the screen on the Ace Pro is so mushy, you know, like mushy peas, mushy, versus on the Ace Pro 2 screen, it's a lot clearer. It's not as clear as I would like it if I'm comparing it to, let's say, the Action 5 Pro, but it is definitely upgraded from the Ace Pro. Now, where the Ace Pro 2 really shines is low light. I took these out for a little test the other night. I was parked up on the side of the road, nothing special, and mate, look at these two clips side by side, both in pure video mode, and obviously pure video mode plus is what it is on the Ace Pro 2, and plus it is. I mean, look at this. It's literally like night and day. The Ace Pro 2's footage there is usable, whereas the Ace Pro's is a little bit questionable. So in my view, having played around with both of these back to back over the last few days and looking at things side by side, I would honestly say this. I think the Ace Pro 2 is a more worthy upgrade from the Ace Pro than the Action 5 Pro is from the Action 4. I've said it. I have said it. Okay, so another question a lot of you are gonna have. By the way, before we continue, we are back on the Ace Pro 2 now, I promise. Another question a lot of you are gonna have is, do I get the Ace Pro 2 or do I get Mr. Action 5 Pro? Well, the time has now come for us to go inside Windsor Castle. You heard that correctly. You thought I was going to bring you here and not take you inside Windsor Castle. I've never been inside myself. This is the first time. In fact, I've never been inside a royal castle. Actually, I have, apart from in Disney World, Cinderella's castle. I've walked through that, so that is a royal castle. So I have, but not in the UK. This is a first for the UK. So without further ado, let me stop waffling, because we are going to put Mr. Action 5 Pro back to back with Ace Pro 2 inside Windsor Castle. Windsor Castle, that was a moment, that was a royal moment. And you know what, it's mad for me because I've seen it so many times on TV, so to actually be inside I was a bit like whoa, 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 whoa. And there was quite a few places you couldn't film, like mainly in the inside bit. So when I was in the chapel, it was just so silent, you could hear people breathe. I was having a moment of reflection. Right, back to business. Action 5 Pro, Ace Pro 2, which one do you like the look of, prefer? Which one do you like the sound of, prefer? I'm not going to get too deep into the facts and figures and all that in this video. I'm going to do a dedicated video side by side with them both and give you my full opinion on it. But yeah, this is just giving you an idea of what they both look and sound like back to back here in royalty. Okay, I'm on the move. I am on the move. Where am I going? Where am I moving to? I'm sorry to say it. I know it's bad, but I'm finding a Starbucks. I'm going to find a Starbucks or a Costa for a pumpkin spice latte or a Black Forest. I was gonna say gatto, Black Forest hot chocolate. I'm sorry, I have to do it. I want some flavour because it is the season. But whilst we go on our little walk, I've got a few cameras in my pocket. Did you remember this guy? Do you remember this little guy? The Go 3S. Look at this, look at this. Let me whack it on so you can see side by side what they're saying. Right, here we are. Insta360 Go 3S. Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Look at this, we've got bunting, royal bunting. But yeah, this is the Go 3S side by side with the Ace Pro 2, just in case you were wondering what they looked and sounded like. And of course, I wouldn't be going anywhere without this little guy inside my pocket. So, Pocket 3, Ace Pro 2. Look at this. Look at this. I've got everything you can want, like royalty, merchandise wise, magnets, key rings, pens, plates, same over there. And of course you've got more bunting, which I'm actually here for. It makes everything British, and yeah, British, because it is the British flag. Now we are still on the hunt for a Costa or Starbucks. I think I'm leaning more towards, should I say, a Costa, because I haven't had a Black Forest hot chocolate this year yet, and they only have just started it like the other week, and I had my pumpkin spice the other week. So I think I'm leaning more towards that. But Costa, where are you? And of course, there's one other little guy that you might have in your pocket. Mr. iPhone 16 Pro. Right, still on a mission, still on a hunt. Let's go down this way. I have just typed in Costa Coffee on Google Maps, and it's saying it's about a 5-minute walk, which I'm okay about. It's be worth the walk. Do you want a t-shirt? Do you want a scarf? Oh, this looks like, oh, it's actually, can you see it up there? It actually says Royal Shopping. I told you, we are in royalty. We're royal shopping. What is this? This is by the looks of things, this is a steam train. This is a train station. Oh, they usually have a Costa inside a train station. Costa. Right, no Costa in the train station, but I have found this. What is this? This is sharp. Right, Google Maps is saying I'm basically kind of nearly here, but I can't see it anywhere. So I think it's one of them ones. When I see it, I'll see it. Costa Coffee. There it is. There it is. We made it. We made it. Black Forest hot chocolate. Let's go. Hello, can I get the Black Forest hot chocolate, please? Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got it. I have got it. It is time for me to have my first sip. Wait, hold on, what? What's going on? It's dark out here. It is dark out here. How long was I in there? How long was I in there? It's dark. I'm sure it was light when I went in. And hold on a minute. Wait, this doesn't look like Windsor. Right, I figured it out. I can confirm we're in London. That is Westminster Abbey, confirmed. But that means we're not in Windsor. So there's no Windsor Castle. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to the castle. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to Windsor. What is happening? Seeing as it's dark, seeing as it's nighttime, we need to switch the Ace Pro 2 over from normal video mode into pure video mode. So this is what it looks like in normal video mode, and this is what it looks like in pure video plus mode. still so confused. Right, now that we've changed the settings over, it's finally time for me to have my first sip of my Black Forest hot chocolate. This is honestly the best hot chocolate in the world. I haven't tried all the hot chocolates in the world, but the ones I have, this is the best. Here we go. Oh, I need to lean. I need to lean. Oh. I think this takes the lead in front of pumpkin spice. I've said it. 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 Look at this. This is a special mode. I mean, look at this. Is it crystal clear? No. Is it usable? Of course it is. And in my opinion, as of time of recording today, this is the best low light you're gonna get on an action camera. I mean, look at this. Look at this. They've really stepped up the game with this. Because like I said, like earlier, if you compare it with the pure video mode on the Ace Pro, mate, they haven't just talked the talk, they have walked the walk. So earlier, I asked you 3 riddles. Do you ask riddles or do you tell them? I don't know, but I did, or did I do them? I did 3 riddles when we was testing out the audio modes, and I promised I would give you the answers. And I said, don't Google, and let's play fair with this. So, without further ado, let's move on to the segment of the video I like to call the answers. Right, so the first one I gave you was, one night, a king and a queen walked into an empty castle. The next day, the king and queen and someone else walked out. Who walked out with the king and queen? The answer is the knight. That is so sick. The knight. The next one I gave you was, I live in a place where some people find me useless. There is at most times only one other person like me. I live in a place where we are ruled by 4 kings and queens. I live in a place where there are only 4 races. Who am I and where do I live? The answer is a joker in a deck of cards. And last up, I said 2 twins are laying next to a king and a queen in a large room. Yet there are no adults and there are no children in the room. How is this possible? Well, the answer is the twins, the king and the queen, are all types of beds. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Right, let me put the Black Forest down for 1 sec and get back down to business. So, James, what don't you like? Well, first things first, the battery is not the best. It says 180 minutes, but that's if you're shooting in 1080p. Who's shooting in 1080p? Today I got 90 minutes, as I said earlier. I was a little bit disappointed with that. Now, they do have endurance mode, which I'm not gonna lie, I haven't tested yet, so maybe I do need to put it in endurance mode to see if I get more than 90. So watch this space as we do our test, but just out shooting with it today in real life in just normal mode, not endurance mode, 90 minutes is not the best. This little mini screen on the front, I said this last year of the Ace Pro, what is this? This is pointless, this is useless. It's showing pretty much the information that we can see at the top, give or take. I've turned it off, I don't even know why I'm looking at it because I want to save as much of that 90-minute battery as I can. Yeah, I would prefer if it was a preview screen. And talking of screens, I'm not a massive fan of the flip screen. I can see how it can be useful for some people. Again, this is going to be personal preference. I'm not saying the flip screen is bad. I'm just saying it's just not what I like in terms of the design. Because when I'm filming like this and then I move like that, having to flip the screen up and down, it does get a little bit annoying, especially when you're used to filming on something like the Action 4, Action 5 Pro, where you've got that preview screen at the front and the back. There's no flipping the screen. But like I said, I can understand how to some people, especially when you mount it on a bike and you can just look down and you'll be able to see the screen, how it would be useful, which is why I say it's personal preference. The quality of the preview screen has definitely been upgraded, like I said earlier, from the Ace Pro, but there is still something about it that's a little bit mushy. And I'm not talking about now, because obviously it's a bit more mushier because it's in low light, but in normal daylight, if you have it side by side with, let's say, the Action 5 Pro and even the Action 4, the screen is so much better on them than it is on the Ace Pro 2. It has been upgraded, I have to say that, like I said earlier, but I do think it's got a little way to go to make it even better. The image that comes out of the Ace Pro 2 is a little bit contrasty. Again, this might be a personal preference thing, because you might say the footage looks great and you like that look. I just think it's too contrasty. But side by side with the Ace Pro, it is a step up in terms of like the clarity, the color, and all of that stuff. The quality is definitely improved. I just find the image that's coming out of it to be a little too contrasty for my personal liking. And I think one thing that would be great is a added microphone on the back, because when you're speaking to the camera like this, the audio is great. As soon as you turn it round like that, the audio is not so great. So let's say you were walking along and doing, you know, shots like this when you're vlogging or whatever, you can't hear the voice as clear as when the camera's facing you. So a little mic like somewhere just to give more of an audio balance when you're talking behind the camera would be good. Right, it's time for the conclusion. And when I was thinking about what I was going to say for my conclusion, I had to say to myself, right, I want to focus this more on concentrating on comparing the Ace Pro 2 to its previous model, the Ace Pro, then comparing it to the Action 5 Pro. And I'm going to do a dedicated video with those two and go through the facts and figures and which one I would actually prefer if I only could pick one. But if we're focusing on the Ace Pro to Ace Pro 2, I would say, in my opinion, pretty much everything apart from the battery has been upgraded. Visuals are better, audio is better, you've got new features like this wind muff guard, new modes, dash cam mode, endurance mode, reverse charging. Using the menu system, and the whole thing is much smoother and faster when you're scrolling through and you're pressing record, and clarity, zoom, even when you do that, it like responds quicker. The quality of the screen has been upgraded, and the biggest thing in my opinion is what you're looking at right now, which is the low light performance. As of time of recording today, like I said earlier, this is the best you're gonna get in terms of low light on an action camera. And you know how it is, everyone has different wants and needs when it comes to looking for what they want in a camera. You might be looking for it to perform the best underwater, or the best in low light, or the best in good light, or have the best audio, or have a flip screen, or not have a flip screen. Everyone's different, so you need to ask yourself, what are you looking for in a camera? And if you already have the Ace Pro, ask yourself, right, I am looking for X, Y, Z. How big of the upgrade is it from Ace Pro to Ace Pro 2? For example, if low light means a lot to you, I think it's a no-brainer. The upgrade is massive. If you're just focusing on audio, the jump isn't as big, so I wouldn't say it warrants changing the Ace Pro to the Ace Pro 2 just for the audio. So just ask yourself, what is it that you want, rather than trying to look at everything on the camera, because everyone has different needs. Like I said about the flip screen, I'm not a massive fan of the design, but I can see that there definitely will be people out there that prefer this design over, you know, the Action 5 Pro's design with just the flat screen. And I know you want me to tell you which one would I pick out of the Action 5 Pro or the Ace Pro 2, but like I said, I want to just focus, I've tried to focus, I know we've done some comparisons, but I've tried to focus our attention on the Ace Pro 2 in this video, and I'm going to dedicate a whole video where I will tell you which one, if I had to choose only one, I would go for. So if you're watching this in the future, I'll link it upstairs and downstairs. If you're watching this as this goes live, it's not ready yet, it will be ready soon. And yeah, watch that and you'll get your answer. And that, perfect timing. Can you hear Big Ben? Can you hear Big Ben? The clock has striked. The clock has struck. Striked or struck? I don't know. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. So, whilst you sit there and figure out whether the Ace Pro is Ace Pro 2 is a yay or nay for you, I am going to go and get another Black Forest hot chocolate. You heard that correctly. That's how good they are, and so should you.